So today we are doing a hips and hamstrings stretching yoga workout. So we're gonna start actually on our hands and knees. We're gonna take a big cat stretch, drop your head and tailbone down, and then release your spine, head and tailbone up. We're gonna do that twice more. Big cat stretch, and then release that head and tailbone up. One more time. And release, very good. And then we're just gonna take our right knee and just start to create some hip circles, just start to warm up that hip. Very good job. And then reverse that direction, take that knee the other way, big circles. Open up that hip, very nice. Reach the leg back and then take your left arm forward, just start to get that core active. Breathe in. Exhale, one more breath. Lift a little higher and release the hand and knee. Then take your left knee, begin those circles. 1 and 2 and 3. And then we're going to take that leg the other way. Circle through that hip. 1 and 2 and 3. Very good. Breathing. And then reach that leg back. Bring your right arm forward. Hold. Breathe in. Exhale. Take one more breath in. And then as we exhale, lift a little higher, release the hand and knee. Stretch your hips to your heels, find child's pose. Take a moment, breathe in. Exhale, one more breath in. And then as we exhale, slide out to your belly. Roll your shoulders back, take maybe a little cobra, or maybe move up a bit higher into an upward dog if you feel ready. And let's bring our feet close together and roll to our right hip, just stretch out the right side. Roll back over the tops of the thighs, roll over to your left hip, back over center, and then tuck your toes. And we're gonna press back to that downward dog, just walking those feet out. Go ahead, take your right leg up nice and high, big breath in, and then exhale, bring that knee up towards your hands. We're gonna do this 3 more times just to really warm up those hips and to get our core warmed up, get that left leg a little more warmed up. Right hip again, moving a few more times. Reach back, and then this time hold the right knee up, and then plant the right foot up between your hands. You're in a nice low lunge, pushing your left hip forward. So start to really think about your kneecap pulling up on your left leg, but your hip pushing forward. So you feel this really deep opening stretch through the front of your left hip. We're then gonna bring the left knee to the floor, release the left toes. You could stay on your hands, or maybe bring your hands up to your knee, or perhaps bring your arms up and back. Just take some deep breaths in. Exhale. One more breath in, and then as we exhale, let's come up and take our right arm and circle it back, looking back at our left foot. Now, you might feel like this is a really nice stretch for you, and you might prefer to stay here. If you're very open in your quadriceps, you may want to bend your left knee and pull your left heel towards your glute. So that's going to open up a lot deeper into the front of your thigh. But if when you pull the heel back, your hip contracts like this, you probably don't need it. We'd rather be a little forward, okay? So only pull that heel in if you can do so without contracting the hip back, because we want to stretch the front of that hip. So we're going to keep breathing in, exhaling. Beautiful job. Breathe in. Exhale, one more breath. And then as we release, we're going to tuck those left toes under, straighten through the back knee, and we're actually going to just step that left foot a little bit closer to the right and make a triangle shape with our legs. So we want to find this nice triangle shape. All of our toes are facing forward at this point, and we're just going to let our chest fall towards the leg. If you need to, you might even need to keep your hands on your ankle or your shin, and that can be a little tougher to balance, but if that's what you need to do to keep the legs lengthened, feel free. If you have blocks or anything like that to use for a prop, you could do that as well to really help you stabilize. So just take a few more breaths here. Now this is a little bit of a balance, but you're gonna sweep your arm side and come up. Toes are still forward, okay? We're going to take our hands behind our back, either clasping our elbows or taking a reverse prayer, palms together. Lift the chest, arch. Again, try not to fall. This can be a little tough when you have those feet parallel. And then lead with your heart. Come over that right leg and just let your chest fall towards that shin. Now we're going to take a few moments to balance. Intensify that hamstring stretch, and then when you're ready, Hands can come to the floor and you can stretch a little deeper. Very good job. From there, turn your left heel back, and then you're going to open up your left arm for this triangle stretch. Reach that left arm high, stack the shoulders, stack the hips, and then bring the left hand down to your right foot, ankle, or knee, or perhaps the floor or a block, and open up your right arm. So a twisted triangle. Beautiful. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Great job, you guys. One more breath. Okay, so let's take both hands down now. Bring your chest back over that right leg. And that right leg, we want to start to really feel that hamstring. You might even flex the foot and pull your chest a little closer if you like. And then bring the right toes down. We're going to pick up our left foot, half or all the way up, just depending on where it goes. And even if your foot only goes maybe this high or so, that's okay. Go where you need to go to feel the stretch. Some people are going to need more to feel it than others, and that's okay. If you don't need as much to feel it, just go where you need to go to feel it. And we're going to hold here and then tuck that left knee behind the right. And then slowly push, push, push those legs apart. And again, tuck those knees in. Exhale, push those legs apart. One more time, tuck the knees in. Press the legs apart. Hold that standing split position. If you like a challenge, maybe sweep the hands off the mat for a moment. Breathe. And then both hands back down to the floor. Both feet together. Hug your legs. And again, even if you're up a little higher, wherever you are, just draw your chest closer to the legs. And then let's take a reverse swan dive up. Inhale. Exhale, big forward fold over the legs. Noticing the right hamstring might feel a little more open now than the left. We're going to lift our gaze forward, bring our hands to the floor, bend the knees. Take either a jump or a lunge or a hop or a walk back to your plank, however you want to get there, okay? And then we're just going to take a flow through that chaturanga again, cobra or upward dog. Breathing in. And exhale, tucking our toes back to downward dog as we're here, walking our feet out. Letting those hamstrings get a nice stretch again and repeating on the next side. So left leg sweeps up nice and high, big stretch, breathe in. And then we're going to exhale, do the same thing. Just draw the knee up and hover and then push it back. So this again is to help start to warm up that right hamstring as well, because every time you push that left leg back, you're going to notice that right hamstring going a little bit deeper through the stretch. You're also starting to warm up that left hip. Very good. Let's do one more like this. Push back, inhale, exhale, left knee up towards the belly, place the foot down. Beautiful job, low lunge. Now we're on this right front of the hip opening. So we're gonna start to push, push, push that right hip forward while pulling the right kneecap up. So as we do that, let's see if we can sink the right knee all the way to the floor. Release the toes and find that beautiful stretch through the front of your right hip. Now when you're ready, perhaps you wanna bring your hands to your knee, or you may want to bring those arms up and back. Beautiful job, just wherever you need to be. And then take your left arm, circle it back. Maybe we can look back at those right toes and just stay here, or maybe we want to pull the heel towards the glute. These are all good options, but again, if we contract when we pull the heel, we'd rather just keep that hip forward. And just breathe, taking your time. Nice deep breaths in. Exhale, very good job. One more breath in. And then as we're ready, exhale, release. Tuck the back toes under. Lift back through a straight line with your back leg. And then just like we did on the other side, we're going to take that back foot, step it a bit closer in, and create a triangle shape with our legs. Let your chest fall over that left leg. Feel that hamstring stretching. Breathe. And then when you're ready, working through that balance, sweeping the arms out to the side, standing. And then hands can come behind the back again, clasp the elbows, or palms in reverse prayer. We're gonna lift the chest, arch back, stabilize through those feet. Good, and then lead with your heart over that leg. And as you come forward now, feel free to, after a few breaths, release the hands, okay? So you can take that balance a little longer if you like. If you're feeling like, whoa, I'm wobbly here, you might just want to put those hands down. But the goal there was to find that balance and also intensify that stretch through that hamstring. So let's go ahead now. Sweep the right arm up as we turn the right heel back. Triangle pose. And this might seem like a narrower triangle than when you come from a warrior pose, but it's kind of nice sometimes because it allows us to really think about raising this hip, stacking those shoulders and hips, breathing. Beautiful, beautiful job breathing. When you're ready, exhale, take that right arm by the ear, right hand to the left foot, ankle, knee, floor, or if a block was there, you could do that as well, and then raise that left arm up. So we're in that revolved triangle here. Really nice, strong through the arms, breathe in. Exhale, one more breath. And then take both hands down, chest back over the thigh. Let's go ahead now, and we're gonna go ahead and flex that left foot, really get into that hamstring a little bit deeper. And then place the left toes down, pick up your right heel, right toe, right leg presses up towards the ceiling, and that standing split. In our standing split, bend the right knee, tuck it behind the left. And then exhale, push the legs apart. And again, draw the knees in together. Exhale, push those legs apart. 2 more times, knees come in, feel the hips stretching. Exhale, legs apart, feel the hamstring stretching. 1 more time, knees in. Exhale, as you pull apart, hold, and then let's just see if we would like to sweep the arms back, checking our balance, breathe in. And then exhale, bring the hands and the feet down together as we hug our legs, really feeling that beautiful stretch. So we're gonna go now into our lizard pose differently today, okay? So take your little monkey pose, breathe in, then exhale, reverse swan dive up, and we're gonna step our toes out to the corners of the mat. So your toes are pointing away, palms come in front of the heart, and we're gonna sit down into a deep squat, okay? So this squat pose I'm gonna face so you guys can see is just like this, okay? So most of you may have done something similar before, but noticing that we want our heels on the ground. So if you find your heels are up, place them down. Find if you need to widen, whatever you need to do to find that. So we're just in this really deep squat. This is awesome for the hips, really helps. You can push the elbows against the knees if you like. Just take a moment here, just breathe. Again, maybe just hold those palms in front of the heart. Allow those hips to start to melt a little bit deeper. So I'm coming back to this corner. So we have mat space behind us. We're in that deep squat. We're gonna just put our hands on the floor, keep our right foot where it is, and just lunge the left leg back. So this is just a different way to get into our lizard, okay? So what we're gonna do now is push that left hip forward, release the knee and toes, and we're in lizard pose. So you could stay on your hands for lizard, you could walk your hands forward, or you could even come down to your elbows or a bit further. Remember that for lizard, we do want the heel on the floor, but we want our toes pointing off to the right here, knee kind of bowing out to the right. And we want to see if we can drop our chest a little bit further. If you need to stay up, that's okay though. So do what you need to do. Let's go ahead now, put our hands back on the floor, tuck our left toe, sweep our right leg back up for that downward dog split, bend the right knee, open to a scorpion, open that hip, maybe look under that arm. You can even flip that if you wish. So that flipped downward dog if you like, and then right hand back to the floor, right leg back up. Let's bring the right knee up for pigeon. So finding that pigeon, lift the chest, inhale. Let's exhale over that right leg and take some nice deep breaths here. Just relaxing, breathing, starting to let all of your muscles melt into the floor. Very, very good. So we are going to go into a double pigeon now. We're going to take our left leg, swing it around, and either place the left ankle on top of the right knee or in front of the right knee, whichever is more comfortable for you, okay? And don't worry if your knee doesn't lay flat. Sometimes it'll look more like this, just depending on where your hips are. We're going to turn our chest towards that left foot and lean over the foot. So you might initially want to go towards the knee of your top leg, but you're actually going to lean towards the foot of your top leg. So as we're stretching here, let's just start to release. Nice deep breaths. Keep breathing. Let that hip get some oxygen here. as we sit up, before we come out of this, we're gonna go into our stretch for our shoulders. So our right arm comes up, we're gonna drop the right hand down to the back. I'm gonna turn this way just so you can see. And then the left arm can either come under, or you could just use the left hand to pull down, okay? So we're just taking a quick shoulder stretch before we get out of this pose. But you don't have to clasp from underneath. You could always just stay here. One more breath in. Then exhale, as we unwind the arms, your left leg is gonna sweep back where it started, tuck that to under, and you're just gonna slide the right leg back into a plank as well. Go ahead and lower chaturanga, cobra or upward dog, back into that downward dog. Walk those feet out, okay? And you're just gonna walk your hands all the way up to those legs for a moment. Big stretch through those hamstrings again. Walk your hands back out. Go through a flow. Chaturanga, cobra or upward dog, downward dog. Now this is kind of fun. We're gonna see if we can hop back into that big squat position. So hips are back, inhale. Exhale, look up between the hands, bend the knees. See if we can jump right up to that squat, and we're about to get that final side, okay? So now we're in our squat. And if you didn't quite make it on your first jump, just get into the squat your own way. That's always fine. Hands are on the floor this time. Right leg comes back. So we're in our lizard pose. Left toes pointing out to the left. We're going to just push our right knee to the floor. Release the toes. Feel a stretch through the front of our right hip. So we're just going to hold here, breathe. You might stay up on your hands. You might come down to your elbows. You might even let your chest drop a little bit further. So as you're breathing, just breathing in. Exhale, take a few more breaths, breathe in. Exhale. One more breath. And then as we're ready, we're going to come back up to the hands. Tuck the back to under. And then sweep that left leg back up. Bend the knee. Scorpion position. Foot can come towards your head. You can look under your left arm, or you can flip that downward dog if you like. Open your chest. That's up to you there. And then bring the left hand back down, left leg back up. Let's take our left knee right up towards those hands for pigeon. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale over the left leg. And just keeping in mind that in pigeon, you want your back knee facing the floor. You want your front heel either towards your hip if that's more comfortable for you, or you can slide it forward if you're more open in the hips. So what you need there is what you want to go with. So just finding what feels better for your body, and just checking that we don't kind of roll onto the side. We want to keep our hips square towards the mat, back knee facing the floor. So nice deep breath in here. Very good. As we exhale and come up, right leg's going to swing around for that double pigeon. So right heel's going to either come on top of the left knee or in front of the left knee. We're going to turn our chest towards that foot and lean to the left. So we're leaning to our right foot, but towards the left corner. And I'm again just kind of going to face this way so you can see how we can either stack or put the foot in front. We're leaning towards the foot. So double pigeon can be more intense at times than our regular pigeon. So just taking some deep breaths here. Very good job. And then we'll get ready for that shoulder stretch. So keeping the legs in the double pigeon. This time, we're going to take left arm up, draw it down the back, using the right hand maybe to guide that hand down, maybe even letting those fingertips clasp underneath, okay? So whatever feels better for you. Taking a few moments. Very good. Breathe and feel those arms stretching. Again, even if you're just using that hand from on top. And then let's slowly release. Circle the wrists out. We're going to roll the shoulders back. I'm going to turn on my mat now. So if you were at the front of your mat, feel free to face, kind of so you have mat space on your sides. We're going to finish up with a butterfly, a straddle, and then a happy baby pose. So just a couple more hip stretches for you. So really keep those knees out to the side. Let's take a side stretch up and over, lengthen from your hip, through the side of your ribs, all the way through that shoulder. Let's come through the center and reach. Beautiful job. Breathe in. And then exhale over to the opposite side up. And let's go the other way. So reaching up and over to the side. Keep your sit bones glued to the floor, so we don't want to ever rock up like this. We want to keep those hips anchored. Then reach through the corner, back through the center, and then slowly coming up. Beautiful job. Well, actually, let's go all the way to that other side and come up just like we did on the other side. Good. So now let's open our legs just a little ways, so we're not in our full straddle yet. We're going to reach through the center here just to give the calves and the back of the knees a little more space to breathe. And then now as we come up, now find where your full straddle is. It's going to look a little different for each person. Where you feel like, wow, that's a great stretch for me, and you kind of hit your own limit, that's a great place to kind of stop there. And we're just going to come up and over, watching that the hips don't leave the floor, which can be a challenge sometimes. And then other side. Really important to lengthen the side waist to keep the lower back open, and that will help keep those hips and hamstrings open as well. And then we're just going to come forward. Breathe in. Exhale, very good. Breathing in. Exhaling, really nice. One more breath in. As we exhale, come up. Let's shake our legs together. Come to the side, and as we roll down, we're going to hug our knees and just start to circle the knees in the hip sockets one more time here. Let any tension go. Reverse that direction. Circle those knees around so our hips hopefully feel a bit more open. Let's bring our knees towards our shoulders. Flex our feet. Hold the calves, ankles, or feet. Find a happy baby pose. Breathe in. Exhale. Feel that tailbone lengthen to the floor. You can hold your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees, wherever you need to. One more breath. And then widen your legs. Let's take a slow close of the legs. Pause with your feet above you. And then take your time. Slowly lower those legs out in front of you on the floor. Let your feet relax. Let your palms open. Eyes closed. And just rest here for a few moments. Taking this time to find something you're grateful for and keeping that with you throughout the rest of your day today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and please stay and rest as long as you need.